The 12 Thai soccer players and their mentor, who have been caught in a cavern in northern Thailand for over about 14 days, have all been safeguarded. We don't know whether this is a wonder, a science, for sure. Every one of the 13 wild hogs are presently out of the cavern, the Thai Naval Force SEALs posted on their Facebook page. The emotional story of the young men who climbed into the Tem Luang Nang non-cave framework on June 23 and afterward became caught by floodwaters has bolted individuals all over the planet. It took an undeniably cheerful turn throughout recent days as a worldwide group of jumpers drew out the young men in 3 phases. Tuesday's salvage mission prevailed with regards to recovering the excess, 4 young men and the mentor. The last individuals to rise up out of the cavern were a specialist and 3 individuals from the Thai Naval Force SEALs at 10 p.m. Tuesday neighborhood time. The young men are in general well-being, as per Thailand's Service of General Well-being. The gathering was tracked down, caught in the overflowed region, a portion of a mile underneath the surface, by 2 English jumpers, 7 days prior in a chamber a few 2.5 miles from the cavern's mouth. The mentor likewise trained them to contemplate to resist the urge to panic, and they were reflecting when they were found. Directing 12 young men through the restricted paths of the cavern, some to some extent, or completely lowered in water, at first appeared to be an almost unimaginable errand, since it took the heroes 5 hours to make the excursion one way. What's more, however, heroes at first said they planned to educate the young men to swim out of the overwhelmed cave. Joined by master jumpers, on Wednesday, we discovered that rather the young men had been given drug and placed on cots before they were passed from jumper to jumper through the cavern. While CBS detailed that the young men were given just enemy of uneasiness prescription, AFP said some were completely quieted. Some of them were sleeping, some of them were squirming their fingers, as though sleepy, yet they were breathing, authority Shayananta Piranarong told AFP. The jumping salvage group was involved 13 unfamiliar jumpers and 5 individuals from the Thai Naval Force SEALs, as indicated by Reuters. The group started its most memorable endeavor on Sunday, matching every kid with 2 jumpers. The young men were furnished with full facial coverings, which are explicitly intended for fledgling jumpers. Also, the stars who went with them conveyed the young men's oxygen tanks. The specific subtleties of the activity are still fairly indistinct, as jumpers were told not to give out data while the hazardous salvage was as yet in progress. In any case, the Thai Naval Force SEALs at long last presented a video on Facebook on Wednesday evening, showing that the young men were placed on cots and directed through the paths. A jumper who addressed the AFP said the young men were resting as he helped guide them on cots. What's more, since the surgeon in the cavern, Richard Harris, was an anesthetist, he might have managed that piece of the salvage exertion. In any case, the BBC additionally illustrated a portion of the clashing reports encompassing the degree to which the young men were cured. The most risky piece of the excursion was navigating a squeeze point that is just 15 inches wide, as indicated by CBS. Since it's so tight, the young men were isolated from their chaperones there. This was hazardous, considering that the segment was almost completely dark. The initial segment of the 2.5-mile venture required swimming and jumping through the overwhelmed sections, as indicated by a BC Australia. Next came a 1-mile move over tricky stone, with ropes for help. Generally speaking, it required around 9 hours for jumpers to get the main gathering of 4 young men out of the cavern. The activity went far superior to anticipated acting Gov. Narongsak Osatanakorn of Chiang Rai, Thailand, expressed, as per the related press. The subsequent mission, which started at 11 am nearby time on Monday, brought about 4 more young men rising up out of the cavern. Furthermore, Tuesday morning's main goal for the last 4 and the mentor required only 8 hours. Ed Sorensen, an individual from the Public Speleological Society cavern plunging segment, let Vox know that dry salvage circumstances like this one, where the caught individuals are not completely lowered, are typically more secure than wet salvage situations. In any case, this salvage has been muddled by the flooding. Water can be exceptionally brutal, and this is a truly challenging cave rescue in view of the super high stream, the no ability to see, the rock heap gags, limitations, he said. After the young men rose up out of the cavern, they were taken in ambulances to clearing medical clinics, which flew them to the Chiang Rai Prashanukro Emergency Clinic. They should be isolated for a couple of days until specialists should rest assured that they haven't contracted any contagious illnesses from their time in the cavern. So for the present, their folks have just had the option to see them through a glass window.